will explain a statistical test called Shapiro-Wilk Test from Statistical Analysis Tool of Dataghurhi. What is Shapiro-Wilk Test? It is a statistical test used to determine whether a numerical dataset follows a normal distribution. A normal distribution, often called a bell-shaped distribution, is one in which most observations are concentrated around the mean, with fewer observations occurring as values move away from the center. The test evaluates whether the observed data deviate significantly from a normal distribution. The data I'm using contains exam scores of 30 students. Now, the research question is, are the students' exam scores normally distributed? Let's run the test. Exam score. Now, hypothesis statement, you can either follow either of these. Is that null hypothesis, the data comes from a normally distributed population, or does not, which is the alternative hypothesis, and here's the significance level at 0.05. The W statistic 0.99. The W statistic is the main statistic calculated by the Shapiro-Wilk test. It measures how closely the sample data follow a normal distribution. This value ranges between 0 and 1. If close to 1, then the data closely follow a normal distribution. And if it's much smaller than 1, then suggests greater deviation from normality. And as you can see here, it is very close to 1. So it indicates that the student's exam score, the dataset, are closely matched. They closely match the pattern expected from a normal distribution. And the p-value is found at this. It is greater than equal to 0.05. So it fails to reject the null hypothesis. It means that the observed data are consistent with a normal distribution. Now, next is sample size, mean, median, standard deviation, skewness, all the statistical calculations, and the decision and conclusion of the results of this data. There's no significant departure from normality. The test indicates that the data is normally distributed. The data appears to follow a bell-shaped normal distribution. Below are all the 4 visualizations. First is histogram with a normal curve. The histogram displays the frequency distribution of the exam scores, while the overlaid normal curve represents the theoretical normal distribution. Here's the interpretation, mean, median, skewness, as the W statistic, p-value. As you can see, the histogram has a clear bell-shaped appearance with most exam scores. First at around the center, fewer scores at the lower and higher ends. So the histogram, as you can see in the histogram, the observed data follows an expected pattern of a normal distribution. Next is the QQ plot, a quantile plot, which compares the observed exam scores with the values expected from a perfectly normal distribution. As you can see, the points lie close to the diagonal reference line. It indicates that the sample quantiles closely match the theoretical quantiles of a normal distribution. Here is the interpretation of the plot. Next is the box plot. That for the exam score, it shows the maximum, minimum, interquartile range, the median here, and then the density plot. The density plot provides a smooth estimate of the distribution of the exam scores. As you can see, the shape of it is a bell-shaped shape, indicating it follows normal distribution. Here's the interpretation. Thank you.